Today, I've got something super exciting to share with you. We're gonna dive deep into the world of email marketing and how to set up a newsletter step by step on Klaviyo in 2024. But first, if you're new here, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Sarkis. I've been doing e-commerce for about 3 years now, and let me tell you, email marketing has been my secret weapon for my success. Today, I will show you my exact strategy step by step, as well as the main stats to keep an eye on to make sure an email is a success or not. So make sure to grab a cup of coffee and let's dive right in. But why should you even bother with email marketing? Well, let me tell you one thing. Without email marketing, your business will go so far. You need email marketing to make your business truly profitable and sustainable. And here's a little secret. Your customers actually love getting emails from brands they trust and love. In fact, in a recent survey I've read, over 60% of people prefer email marketing over any other platform. And 88% of email users check their inboxes many times a day. But my absolute favorite thing about email marketing is the return on investment. In fact, it is known to have the highest ROI out there. $1 spent in email marketing is $36 back. That equals to a 3,600 ROI. Now the real question, when should you set it up? This is where people go wrong and wait too long to set email marketing. In fact, you should set this up before running your first ad. The reason why is because when you're running ads, people don't necessarily know you or might have not heard of your brand. And not a lot of people are going to be ready to whip out their credit card and get that order going on that first encounter. In fact, it takes about 5 to 7 touch points with your brand for customers to really trust you. Because it takes time to build trust, it takes time to nurture those customers. And email marketing really helps with that. All right, so how do we get started? First and foremost, we need to understand what is our market looking like. So who is your main competitor out there? Probably the ones that are making tens of thousands a month are running email marketing. And if so, what I want you guys to do is sign up to the newsletter, because I want you to see what kind of messaging are they sending out? How are they talking to the customers? What kind of styles do they have? How often do they send emails out? All of that is super important to see what is out there, who are you competing against in that section, in that market. And so that will give you a pretty nice idea and a nice inspiration to base yourself on. Now, if you don't know who's your main competitor or you still are not sure what kind of product you're going for, you can still sign up to the bigger brands that are running email marketing. A very good example is True Classic. I absolutely love their emails. I always look at their subjects, their preview text, and I look at how they design their emails because they have like a pretty solid way. They almost send me emails daily, I believe so, and I'm sure they're killing it. They're like a multi-million brand, and their emails definitely show a level of really, quality, right? So we want to make sure our emails are at that same level. After we've studied our competition and we have a solid idea of how our emails are going to look like, we're going to download an app called Klaviyo on our Shopify store. After you download the app, it will probably ask you to sign up, verify your email address. So after you download Klaviyo, your screen will look a little something like this. It should be well integrated with Shopify. If not, it might ask you for a few steps to do so. However, I just wanted to share with you on one of my e-com stores what has been going on with my email marketing. As you can see, my total revenue is about $15,920, and the part that is coming from email marketing is $3,138, which is almost 20% of my total revenue. I personally like to aim anywhere between 20 to 40%. This is kind of just starting out, using it as an example, but you can see that, imagine if I didn't have email marketing, we would go from almost 16,000 to 13,000, which is a pretty big difference. So make sure to set this up. You can see also that majority is coming from my flows. Almost 2,624 is coming from flows. So the difference between flows and campaigns is flows, you only have to set it up once, and then you can forget about it in a way. It's automated, so it will regularly send to your customers, whereas campaigns, it's more manual. I usually use those like a few times a week or maybe like on a holiday, but flows, you just set it up, wait 7 days, and then look at the results to see if it's going in the right direction or not. So today I'm going to show you the welcome series and how to set all of that up, how to set up the newsletter, right? To keep them engaged with your brand. So we're gonna go ahead, before we set up the flow, we need a place for them to sign up to our newsletter, right? So we're gonna go to sign up forms right here, and we're going to do a pop-up. This is very common in very big brands. It works very well. So I'm gonna click on create a sign up form. And for the moment, what I want you guys to do is email only. Later, maybe you can incorporate SMS as you grow bigger. But for the moment, just to make it more simple, to get a higher conversion rate, I would say, or higher people that actually go in, I would just go for emails. And I like this one right here. It looks pretty good. Unlock 20%. I like this one. And then name, you can call it whatever you want. I'll just leave it as such. Email subscriber list, I'll put it at newsletter, and I'm gonna click on create form. Now, one thing I have realized, I've tested both. I've tested with images and without images, and the one with images has converted higher than the one without images, right? So make sure that you have a nice looking image in your pop-up. So as you can see over here, it's very easy to edit this. You can literally just click on the text box and edit that if you need to put a different discount. Now, I've seen a very high opt-in rate between 15-20%. The higher the discount, the more likely people are going to, give their emails out. So make sure I would leave it at 20% if your brand can afford that. And then for the image, make sure you have like a really nice branded image going on. So you can click on that and you can click on replace and replace that as well. So this is looking pretty good to me after you've replaced the image, maybe replace the text if you're changing up the discount. Make sure to not forget this success right here. Make sure to edit that and make it look cohesive with the brand as well. I like to put something very important with the pop-up is the targeting and behavior. Select when this form should be displayed. Make sure you do not select immediately. Make sure you select maybe only on a custom trigger or based on rules. So I'm just gonna go based on rules, because if you set it up to be immediate, then people are going to arrive to your website. There's gonna be a pop-up in their face, and that's gonna look super, super spammy, and they're gonna run, right? So we don't want that. I've done that mistake once and my conversion rate dropped dramatically. So do not do that same mistake. So we're gonna go for based on rules. I like to either put when visitor is exiting the page or after a time delay. So I'll just leave it right now for when visitor is exiting the page, and we should be good to go. So another thing I like to do over here is insert the code. So once they sign up their emails, I don't want them to leave my website, go to their emails, look at the code and come back. That's way too many steps. I just wanted to get their emails, right? So I want to make sure that straight off the bat, they get the code that they can, utilize and shop on my store. So how do we do that? I'm gonna click on add blocks and I'm gonna add a coupon right here. So I'm just gonna add the coupon. All right, and there are two types of coupons. There's unique coupon and there's static coupons. For the moment, we're not gonna dive too deep into that. I'll leave that for another video, but we'll just go for static coupons, which is very easy. You can just create your discount code on Shopify. I'll show you guys in a second. And basically you can just literally write welcome. I would say welcome 20. Because they're getting 20% off. So there you go, welcome 20. Make sure everything is looking good. And then you can also take a look at the mobile and see if this is how you want it to look like or not, right? So how do we set this up on Shopify? So setting up a coupon code on Shopify is very easy. Just go to your dashboard, go to discounts, and then we're going to create a welcome 20 together. Create discount. We're gonna go for amount of order. That's my favorite one. It's just easier to set up. Discount code, we'll do welcome 20. Percentage, we're going to do 20%. A minimum purchase requirements, no need. All of that is good to go. All customers. I like to put limit to 1 use per customer just to not abuse the coupon code that I'm giving out. And then welcome 20 can be combined. If you have any other discounts that you need to combine it with, this is where you would put that. Start date, I would leave it today, and then I would not put an end date for now. So that's pretty much it. Very easy. I would just press save, and there we go. We got that going on. So once you're done with that, make sure to come back to Klaviyo, publish it, and make a test on your website. Make sure everything is working well. Sign up to your own sign up form to make sure, you know, everything is activated and integrated very, very well. One thing I did want to mention, I've seen some people have this mistake. They're like, oh, I downloaded Klaviyo, it's not working. My pop-up is not going live. There's something going on. It's not well integrated. Just want to give you a small little tip to make sure you are set up correctly. So I want you to go to online store, click on customize, and then I want you to click over here, apps embedded, and then make sure that Klaviyo is turned on. If it's turned off, it's not going to work. But when it's turned on, it should all function properly. If it doesn't, if it's not well integrated, see if Klaviyo has sent you an email or two to complete the setup, which they should. And if not, I would like reach out to their customer support to see what's going wrong. But it should be relatively easy to set this up. After we're done with the sign up form, we need to set up our first flow, right? So we're gonna go to flows right here. Perfect. And then you can, usually there should be a bunch of templates that you can utilize if you are just starting out. They will literally give you templates for all sorts of flows. Right now, I'm just gonna click on create flow, and then the templates will pop up as well. There we go. So you can see over here, welcome series is right there. And there's way more to take advantage of as well. But let's start with welcome series for today. So the name, you can call it welcome series. Tags, you can leave it without any tag for the moment. And trigger, make sure you select newsletter because that's where our sign up is going to, and that's how everything is being triggered properly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click create flow. Now, very important, in a welcome series, there are two kinds of people. There is the person that, you know, has already been sold on your product. They left their emails just for the discount code, but they wanted to buy it anyways. And there's the people that maybe weren't so ready. They arrived to your website, they liked what they saw, they put their emails, but they kind of left. They didn't want to, you know, take that action straight away. And those two people have different strategies, right? The first kind of people that were already sold, it's just like a conversation to keep them engaged, maybe upsell them on different products. And the ones that didn't buy and, you know, were a bit like on more of that doubting side, those are the people we want to send education, you know, like educate people on your product. What are the main benefits of your product? Educate them on your brand as well. How does your brand function? Do you have any refunds? Do you have exchange policy? Do you have free fast shipping? What is it that makes you so special, right? And very, very good to also put social proof, testimonials, reviews. Those work great. So I would definitely incorporate, actually, I would incorporate the social proof on both sides because the ones that they bought, we want to also reassure them that they made the right decision, right? So it's a bit of a different strategy over here. For today, I'm gonna go for the ones that didn't buy, they put their emails and they left, right? So we'll focus on those ones right there. So you can see over here that Klaviyo has done that conditional split for us. You can see that the trigger of this flow is when someone is added to newsletter, and then there's a conditional split. Did someone place an order or did they not? So has placed an order at least once over all time. If they did, they'll go down the yes path, and if they didn't, they'll go down the no path. So today we're going to cover the no path, people that haven't bought, but they're on that edge, right? They're interested with your brand, they engaged a tiny bit, but we will continue that conversation, right? So first email is going to be obviously our coupon code. So how do we do that? I'm gonna press on the email, And I'm gonna press on these three dots and press on edit. So number one, as you can see, there's the name. This is honestly just for you. It's probably to track things better in your URL parameters. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's not something that the customers will see. However, the subject line, this is where I want you guys to pay attention, because the subject line is the reason for your open rate. So if you have a bad subject line and you have a great email, people won't even open the email to see your great email, right? So we want to make sure that the subject line is amazing. We want to make sure it triggers curiosity and is something that is, that is catchy, right? So over here, obviously we are giving them a 20% off and they know they're about to get this email. So we just want to say, welcome. Here's the 20% off that we've promised you. So I would just put maybe off like this. There you go. If you have like a little joke or something more humoristic that matches your brand while giving your 20% off, you can definitely put that in here. Just make sure it's short and concise, because if it's too long, people won't even see it. Now, preview text, that's the little text that appears right below the subject line. So I'll show you guys in a second how that looks. I would put something similar to this. As promised, here is your 20% off. There you go. And then some three dots to see that the message didn't end. Sender name, make sure you put your brand. So I would say your brand. And then sender email address, make sure you put your business email. This is very important because now Klaviyo is integrating with Google policies, and if you don't have that, these emails won't send. So make sure you have, I don't know if you have info or support, so I would say info@yourbrand.com, right? You can buy these emails on Google Workspace, very easy to set up. There you go. So once we're done with this, we're gonna go ahead and press on edit email. So as you can see, to edit the email, it's a very easy system. It's like a block system. There's text, images, split, all of that good stuff that you can click, drag, and then drop it into the email. So first and foremost, we're gonna go with image because we wanna make sure that we put our logo on top. Otherwise, people won't recognize who they're getting this email from, right? So make sure to put your email, your logo in there. This is just for example. I'm gonna take this one right here, and then you can play around with the size, because obviously this right now is way too big. So I'm gonna make sure to turn off fill column, and I'm gonna put this a bit lower, maybe like 150, I would say. Let's see at 150 how it looks. Yeah, looking way better. I would even go down to 100. Yeah, I would play around with this, so maybe 120 would be best. All right, perfect. I think now it's looking way better. We can also, over here, the text kind of has dynamic code in it. So welcome to the organization name family. So the organization name is gonna be taken from your brand. If your brand is called A Drop of Wellness, then it will be welcome to A Drop of Wellness family. Make sure then to remove the, to make it sound better. And then basically, if you want to edit the text, you just have to click on the box and then you can edit it over here. And then for the text over here, hey, first name. So what's really nice about email is we want to make sure we personalize it. So if there's no first name, this is all dynamic code that has been placed by Klaviyo. Let's say your name was Zach, hey Zach, and if there wasn't Zach in the pop-up form, then it would say, hey there, we're glad you're here. So what can you expect? That you're now an insider, exciting product announcements, exclusive deals and promotions, content and recommendations will customize just for you. We save the very best for those that want to stay in the know. So this is fantastic. And then I would put use code, insert coupon for 20% off your first purchase. Obviously, we're gonna insert our coupon right here, and it was welcome 20. Use code welcome 20 for 20% off your first purchase. Looking fantastic. Then the shop now button, we obviously want to edit that to match our brand. So right here it's red. Obviously we want something a bit more of that blue tone because that's how our brand is looking like. So I would obviously take the exact Xcode that you have to really match your brand. But this is looking pretty good already. This is looking way better. And then you can also put in some products as well. So Here are a few trending items handpicked just for you. And then over here are a list of products. Now it's set for dynamic. Dynamic means that Klaviyo will do the decision on what products show up. But then you can also be a bit more specific and choose static and say, hey, I want to add this product for this email, and be very specific. For the moment, I'll just leave it dynamic and leave the choice up to Klaviyo. You can A/B test and see which one works best. Another thing you can add in here, obviously you can this is a very simple email just for this video to not go way too in depth, but you can add more images, make it look more branded. I usually do my designs on Canva with the reviews, and then I would put them in here. So I would obviously maybe add a review in here. I would add a nice footer, make it look really, really high quality. Also, never forget that you should be looking at the mobile, because that's where 80% of the people check their emails. So we want to make sure that in the mobile it's looking pretty good, and it's not way too crazy. The logo, the sizes, all of that is looking good. For me, this is looking pretty amazing. You can click preview and test to see if everything is looking good, and then it will show you an example of how that would look like live. You can also click on here, send test, and send that test to yourself to see how it would look like in your inbox and on your phone. All right, so there we go. We got our first email up and going. We're gonna go ahead and put in our next emails. I'm gonna press save. Perfect. So before we add our second email, we're gonna have to unjoin these. And where do the steps move? We'll just click yes, disconnect split. We can rejoin them later. Awesome, so I'm gonna put a time delay after 4 hours that they received that first email. We're gonna put our second email. So I'm just gonna drag and drop the email, and I'm going to press edit. Obviously, these little yellow alerts are just to help us make sure everything is going well. But since I'm using this for an example purpose, I've put the wrong email, it's giving me these kind of errors. Make sure they're not appearing from your side, because that means you are doing something that needs fixing. So before we edit this email, what I want to do is save the template that we've just created together. So we're gonna come over here, press edit, and I'm gonna press on this little arrow right here, and I'm gonna click on save as template. I'm gonna call this the welcome template, save as template. And there we go. We got this template saved. And now we don't have to do the whole work from scratch. So it's gonna be very easy to do. So now we're gonna press on edit over here. So subject line, I would put something a bit more catchy. So I would say, don't miss out. Your 20% off code will expire in 24 hours. This is really nice because you induce a bit of scarcity and you want them to act faster, right? So you will, in that, expiry, like 24-hour expiry limited time promotion, that's gonna help you out a lot. So don't miss out. Your 20% off code expires in 24 hours. And then I would put a preview text similar to take advantage of your 20% off now. Perfect. And then we're gonna click sender name. Make sure you put that in, sender email address. So over here, once we're in, we finished the preview text, the subject. We're gonna click on the drag and drop. We're going to go to save templates, and I'm gonna go to the welcome template. So now the only thing we want to change up is the text. In my second email, what I want to do is just remind them about the limited time of the coupon and also add in some reviews. That would be very helpful. Add reviews of your product or of your brand, your fast delivery time, your customer support. That is very helpful to put in that second email. So you can literally just click on the text and you can, I have the text already kind of ready. So I'm just gonna paste it in here. I'll just take this out. We'll keep the personalization with the hey there. Just a quick heads up, time is running out on your exclusive 20% off discount code. Make sure to take advantage of this offer before it expires in 24 hours. Simply use code WELCOME20 at checkout to snag your savings, but don't just take our word for it. And then I would put a bunch of reviews in here. So you can do it either on Canva and then import that image onto your email, Or I would do something similar to this. So obviously let's put this in bold. I want to make it like standing out. I would even put it in a different color as well to really make it stand out. Right here, of course, we can take this out. I would say something like ending in 24 hours. There we go, ending in 24 hours. Nice, looking good. And for the reviews, you can do something similar to this. So you can do either a split. So you can put the image of the person and then a review, right? So first split, this is the first column. I would put it as an image. And I would add the image of, the person reviewing it. So for the second column, you just press over here and you can add your reviews. So yeah, just add in your review and that's gonna look really, really nice. Over here, you can leave the product and you're good to go. You can also, if you have Trustpilot, I would highly suggest to put that in your emails as it will give you authority and it will give you way more credibility. So if you already have Trustpilot and you have a few reviews in there, then I would definitely put that in. So you can do like a photo of the Trustpilot symbol and then you can add in the link of your Trustpilot so people can click on that and be redirected to these reviews. Especially if you have really good reviews, put it everywhere, right? Like make them really know how good your brand is. So the third email, I would put about how your brand functions. I would put refunds, guarantees, your shipping time, so all of that, especially if you have a really flexible exchange policy, I would put that in there. And there you go. You have like the first email with the coupon code, second email reminding them about the discount code with a limited time offer, as well as some nice reviews to put that credibility higher. And that third email about how your brand functions. What you can do as well is put these ideas into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will definitely help you write out these emails, especially if you have a way of speaking in a specific way. ChatGPT will definitely help develop all of these emails in depth. Now, things that can affect deliverability in email, it's very important to be aware of. Don't use a lot of dears, dear, whatever. Don't use a lot of that. Don't use a lot of caps. Don't use a lot of emojis. Don't use weird text fonts. Make sure to put a button that allows them to unsubscribe. If you don't have any of these, then your emails won't be able to be sent properly. Now, Klaviyo, again, is integrating with Google, so they're much more strict in that regard. So how do we know if we're doing well? First and foremost, we really need to understand the data. The open rate, for example, we want it between 20 to 40%. That is fully reliant on the subject line and the preview text. If your open rate is falling below, then we need to rework your subject line and your preview text. Now, the second most important KPI to keep an eye on is your click rate. And we want that between 2 to 5%. This heavily relies on the style of your email, how good your email looks, how convincing it is to click on that next step, right? And very important, the offer. If you have a really nice offer, people usually tend to click on it, especially if you have a lot of different links or different places people can click on, different products, that can increase your click rate. Now, the conversion rate, we want that between 1 to 3%. Obviously, the email does the convincing, but your landing page needs to do that extra step to be able to take that person to fully convert. So revenue per recipient, I would aim anywhere between $1 to $3 for the welcome flow series. If it falls below that, then I would rework either the different emails or how the structure is, maybe putting more emails or rework the whole strategy. And there you have it. You've got that first flow set up, which will kickstart that conversation with your customer on the right foot. But this is just the beginning. In the next video, I will be covering one of the most important flows out there, which is the abandoned cart series. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell on to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.